Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name is Bob, I'll be your host. When I got started playing tabletop role-playing games many years ago, what got me started was the basic version of Dungeons and Dragons, which is the red box set, for those of you that know. And since then I've played in pretty much every iteration of Dungeons and Dragons. First edition, second edition, third edition, kind of skipped over fourth, and played a little bit of 5th edition. And I've played a lot of various clones of the game too. And, OSRs and stuff. But always had a soft spot for Dungeons and Dragons, the basic set. That's by far my favorite. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Dungeons and Dragons Rules Cyclopedia. This book has 304 pages and a copyright of 1991. It was published by TSR, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white, and it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. This is the first picture we see when we open the book, which is just a black and white version of the book's cover. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white, and it's pretty decent as well. It goes a long way to setting a proper tone and mood for this game. To play this game, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this core rulebook and a full set of dice. A full set of dice containing a 20-sided die, a 12-sided die, preferably two 10-sided dice for rolling both percentiles and tens, an 8-sided die, a 6-sided die, and a 4-sided die. And this game is very easy to play. And the first thing we'll take a look at is character creation. Character creation is very easy. If you've played any version of Dungeons & Dragons, you pretty much know how to make up a character in this game. Only it's a little bit more simple than that. First, you have your attributes. Your attributes are strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, and charisma. You figure these up by rolling 3 6-sided dice and adding them together for each attribute. I'm going to give you a couple options in here too, if you don't like that one. And after you got your attributes, you'll pick an alignment. And unlike the other versions of Dungeons & Dragons, there are only 3 alignments in this game, and they are lawful, neutral, and chaotic. It doesn't break them up into good, neutral, and evil like the other versions of D&D does. After you have your alignment, you'll pick a class. And the classes are a little bit weird in this game because they don't have races, meaning you don't pick whether you're a human, a dwarf, or an elf, and then you pick a class on top of that. The elves and stuff are their own class, but we'll get to that. The human classes in this game are the cleric, the fighter, the magic user, and the thief, and they can advance all the way up to 36th level. The demi-human classes that you can pick in this game are the dwarf, the elf, and the halfling. Now, they have a cap on their levels that's pretty low because they're considered to have extra abilities and stuff that the humans don't have. So a dwarf can advance all the way to 12th level, an elf can advance all the way to 10th level, and a halfling can advance all the way to 8th level. And there's an optional set of rules to deal with that, but we'll get to that later. After you have your class, on top of those classes, you have 2 optional classes for this game. The first one is the druid. The druid's kind of special because you have to be a cleric first, and you have to advance the character all the way up to 9th level, and after that you jump over to being a druid. The other optional class is the mystic, and both of these are human classes. The mystic can only advance up to 16th level though, and the mystic is kind of like a monk in other editions of Dungeons and Dragons. But after you have your class, you roll up your hit points, write down all your special stuff from your class, such as spells and so forth, combat abilities, and that is pretty much it for character creation. You write down your notes on your saving throws, and that's pretty much it for character creation. This book has everything you need to make up a character for the game. It has rules for combat, and they're pretty much like the other versions of Dungeons & Dragons. You roll a 20-sided die to see if you hit your target. Now, they use THAC0 in this. For those of you that don't know what THAC0 is to hit an armor class 0. And they give you the formula for figuring that out for your character, but they also give you a sheet. For each character class, they have a table that tells you what they need to roll to hit each type of armor class. So that's pretty cool. And the demi-humans in this game, even though they quit advancing at a certain level, you still record your experience. And at different tiers of experience, they gain better combat abilities. And they don't get any extra hit points or anything, but that's pretty weird. You're still kind of gaining levels, but you aren't. And so there's that. This game has everything a game master needs for building an adventure and running a game. It has a good chunk of the book devoted to spells and spell casting. It's got all the monsters you need in this game, in this book. It's got some full color maps in here, because it does give you a little bit of a campaign world. The world that it sits in this book is called Mystera, and it also gives you an alternate campaign to go along with that called the Hollow World. So you get 2 campaigns in one. Now, it doesn't give you much description on each, far less on the Hollow World. And I don't have any of the material for the Hollow World, so I can't say too much on that. But they put out a lot of gazetteers for Mystera, and I got a bunch of them. And that's pretty neat. I plan on looking at those later on. It's got a full list of equipment and stuff in here that you can use. And it's also got some optional rules in the back. And those optional rules have different things in it that you can use. Like taking your demi-humans all the way to 36 level, and it tells you how to do that if you wish. This game also has skills in it that you can use if you want to in your game, and has all the rules for that in here. And that's pretty much it. It's got a blank character sheet in the back that you can photocopy and use. And this book is not really an original. I bought this off of Drive-Thru RPG. And so it's a brand new copy. It's pretty cool. And it's published by TSR, but these books from TSR, the old Dungeons & Dragons books, is technically owned by Wizards of the Coast now. And they allow you to buy the books on Drive-Thru RPG if you want, and get them printed off, which is what I did. Because buying an original copy of this book is pretty expensive. A little bit more than I was wanting to pay for it. But this was pretty cheap. I paid just over $30 after shipping and handling. The book itself was like 20-something bucks. You can save a few dollars if you get a softbound. So that's pretty cool. And so it's not original, but I'm happy with that because I really want to get into running this and playing some more in the old basic stuff. And this brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this game? And absolutely. I love basic Dungeons & Dragons, and this book is a compilation of all the box sets put together. So, yes, I would definitely play this game. Would I run this game? And yes, I would. I've run a lot of basic Dungeons and Dragons in the past, and I hope to do so some more in the future. Would I recommend this book? If you like basic Dungeons and Dragons, then this is a no-brainer. It's a good book to get. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, but want an easier set of rules to play and something that's more modifiable, very easily homebrewed, this is definitely a book you should check out. And that's pretty much all I got to say for the Dungeons and Dragons Rules Cyclopedia right now. Thank you for joining me. I look at this book, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.